Okay, so this lecture is on the section for proteins as biomolecules. And this one's going to be a little bit longer. But when we talk about proteins, most oftentimes you're going to think, well, proteins are stuff you eat. And oftentimes you think you're going to eat protein or drink protein forms like a protein shake to build muscle, with a specific reason in mind. The longer I'm around science in terms of like the medical field, healthcare, studying different disease, cancers, all of that stuff, you start to realize that basically everything in the body is a protein. It's kind of scary. So there's so many different types that we often overlook or you just don't know about. But in this picture right here, this would be a protein before it's folded up. Okay, and scientists are still studying how proteins fold themselves. But what you have to understand is deep within the cell, there's specific recipes for whatever type of protein is being made, and they go out and they make these amino acids. And then they all link together. So each one of these shapes all the way down is an amino acid. Okay? And when we link all of those amino acids together or bond them right here in between, and then we fold this long chain of beads up, it will become a protein. Okay? Several different kinds of proteins. And so let's take a look at filling in that chart, if I can get on it here. Okay, so first type of proteins that we talk about are enzymes. Okay, and enzymes are anything that are going to, sorry, I'm trying to write here. Sorry, I'm not sure why I did that. Enzymes are anything that are going to speed up chemical reactions. Okay, so example would be saliva. Okay, in your saliva, as soon as you eat, you chew your food up. Yes, you've got the mechanical breaking down of that food, but then you also have these enzymes in your spit that go in and they start mixing with that food and they start breaking it down. Okay, so the chemical reaction here is the breakdown of that food, that digestion process. That would be an example of enzymes. So enzymes are found throughout all different parts of the body. You've got them in your stomach, you've got them, oh my goodness, in your blood. They are everywhere. Okay, second type is going to be structural proteins. And when we think of structural, get off, we think of examples here would be tendons and ligaments. Okay, so the function here is to support you. You would just be a big sack of bones laying on the ground if you didn't have all of these tendons and ligaments attaching your muscles to your bones and keeping you upright. So when somebody says they tore their ACL or their meniscus in their knee, let's say, those are made out of structural proteins, and it's that tissue, that protein tissue that's torn inside of that knee and then needs to be repaired. All right, our next one is what we call antibodies. And antibodies, example would be, let's say, I'm just going to give it it's a little more complicated than this, but let's just talk in terms of white blood cells, okay, and your immune system. Now, antigens are the bad guy, okay? This is what makes you sick. So it could be the COVID virus. And so all of a sudden the antigen enters into your body, and what your immune system, it's like your army, your defense system is going to do, is it's going to signal that antibodies get made, and they are specific to the antigen. So these are the good guys. Okay? They are going to keep you healthy. And they are made in response to whenever you have a foreign invader into your system. Antibodies are good things. You want to have antibodies in you, and they have a memory. So then if you are ever reintroduced to a specific strain of an illness, you won't get it again. People my age, we were exposed to chickenpox when we were little, which is one of the herpes simplex viruses. And so once you had that strain of that herpes infection, you were never to get it again. Now, you guys today are vaccinated. You get a vaccine when you're teeny little baby. I shouldn't say teeny little baby, but when you're younger, to basically immunize you against chickenpox, so that the chickenpox antigens or that virus cannot make you sick. The next one we talk about is, I'm going to just switch colors again, is transport proteins. And these, the example here is they are in the cell membrane, okay? So if we have a cell, okay, this is the cell membrane right here. It's the gatekeeper. It gets to say what goes in and what comes out of that cell. Well, within the cell membrane, not only do we have phospholipids, we learned that in the last section, but you also have these, like if we were to look at a cross section of the cell membrane, you have this gate, okay? And there's these cell membranes here. These transport proteins. And so if this is the outside of the cell, this is like the channel that they need to pass through. So they come down and then they can get inside the cell. So basically we are transporting or moving things from the outside environment onto the inside. That's about all you need to know about transport proteins. Contracting proteins, these are, here you go, this is the one you know, these are muscles, okay? So if all of a sudden your brain tells that muscle to move, those muscles are down there, they are made out of different proteins in the body, and they are going to move you, okay? So whether you are flexing, okay? Sometimes we don't even realize it, but it can be like an extension of a muscle pushing you forward. So you just even think about walking, okay? You push that foot in front of you, that quad is constricting, that hamstring's extending, and then that foot goes down, and then you push it backwards, and that hamstring is constricting or flexing, and the quad has to stretch out and able to get you to move. You go to pick a book up off the off your desk, you have to grab the book, and then you have to contract that bicep and even parts of the forearm to lift it up off of there. Let's just take a look at a couple pictures in here, and they all, for some reason, like to import, ew, this isn't how it's supposed to look. Stop it, I don't want that there. Lovely. I don't know why it won't let me make it anymore. Okay, here, this type of protein, if we take a look at this picture, it's a white blood cell and is using antibodies to identify and consume a bacterial cell. So the bacteria is the bad guy, okay? This right here is bacteria, okay? Bacteria can be like the bacteria streptococcus that makes you sick and you get strep throat. It could be a bacterial infection in your gut and you're going to have severe diarrhea because you ate some chicken that had E. coli bacteria growing on it. Okay, so what happens is your white blood cells come with antibodies specific to the antigen, and it's basically going to envelope itself around. You can see this leg, and if we had the full picture, we'd have one on the other side. and it engulfs that, and then it kills off of that bacteria. So this type of protein would be an antibody. Okay, we got that one. Let's take a look at this guy down here. Okay, here's an ACL tear. Before it was torn, the ligament right here, the ACL, this is in your knee. Okay, so this is your, it actually looks like it's upside down. We've got 2 bones on the bottom, 1 on the top. Was used to connect bones and offer support when running. So the type of protein here would be that structural protein, okay? Those structures inside of there, those tendons and ligaments, keep you upright. They offer support. Sometimes people start losing like different cartilage and tendons and ligaments in their knees, and things just kind of start to go away as we get older. And then you've got bone grinding on bone and just bad stuff. So take care of that body that you've been given. Let's see. I do not know where the pictures went, you guys. So back here, okay, there's a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's flexing his big pectoral muscles and biceps and deltoids and everything. Go Google a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? These would be our, I'm drawing a blank here. Thank you. Contracting proteins, okay? Anything that's gonna move you, bulk you up. Those, you know, people drink protein shakes and eat lots of chicken and eggs and get that extra protein to enhance those muscles or make them bigger. And then, of course, we had the enzymes in your mouth. Enzymes anywhere in the body, okay, helping you break things down. So 5 different types. All of them have very, very different functions. So try to split those up and just identify where you see them. Don't overthink it. You know, look at each picture and see how that is a protein.